It's what you're doing, it's making me feel like I'm falling.
Hey guys, welcome back or welcome to my channel. Today we're doing episode 4 of Draw Your Journal. It's my prompt journal that I wrote and it's available now on Amazon. Before I even wrote Draw Your Journal, I was really looking for a prompt journal that I could use to describe me and kind of use as a diary. I discovered that a prompt journal like that didn't really exist. So I wrote it. Draw Your Journal is a visual diary. Every single page has prompts that will help you to visualize everything there is to know about you. So you can record your thoughts, explore your interests, and just draw about your life. So for example, you could track your mood throughout the month, draw about your birthstone, your spirit animal, your alter ego, and a lot more. There are 103 prompts in the journal. I would also like to note that I now have Draw Your Journal merch available on Teespring, so you can wear the logo on your clothes. All right, let's get started on the pages for this episode. Okay, so here is my Draw Your Journal, and I'm flipping to the page that says, Draw Your Comic Strip. Create a story using these boxes. Just so we make sure everyone is on the same page here. A comic strip typically consists of a sequence of drawings that tell one whole story. So there are 10 boxes here, and in each box, I'm going to show the next scene in the story. After sketching out each scene, I took out my eraser and erased the sketches so that no one can see them anymore, except me. I then started coloring these boxes in. In the first box, there is this cat that kind of looks like a bear, admittedly, and it's roasting a marshmallow. In our third scene, you can see that as the marshmallow is being roasted, it actually melts and drips onto the paw of this cat.
Oh my god!
Now, if you watched last week's Squishy Makeover video, you may be able to tell where this storyline is going. In the next scene, you see Graham looking quite upset that he has some marshmallows on him. He goes, heh, and he shakes his paw. He can't get the marshmallow off his paw, so he starts moving around and stretches it and somehow gets it on both of his paws. The basic idea for this comic strip was to serve as an origin story of sorts for Graham the s'more cat. Why does Graham have s'mores all over him? How did he become such a mess? Wasn't he a normal cat when he was born? All your questions will be answered. So this is like the storyline of how he became who he is today. In the following scene, Graham has gotten himself into quite the position. He has gotten marshmallows on all 4 of his paws now. He tries to stretch out his marshmallow-covered limbs, and it splashes all over his body, all over his head, his paws. It's really everywhere, and Graham looks quite upset about this at this point. But wait, we have one more box to finish up this story. So in the last box, I decided to make Graham look much happier. He has accepted his marshmallow status. This broke. Perfect, we can still use that. And lastly, I added a smile to Graham just like his squishy. I'm taking out my colored pencils again and coloring in the background with very bright colors. I chose not to create a background that was very detailed for this comic strip because typically comics don't really have a very detailed background. I also felt like I really wanted the focus of the comic strip to be on Graham and what was happening in the storyline rather than the background, so I prefer to have the blank colors in the background. I think it makes everything pop out, and I really think it made it look like a comic strip. Once I had finished coloring in the background, I took out my white Posca paint pen and just added some sparkles to Graham's eyes. Graham's eyes are very sparkly on the squishy, and I really wanted to keep that consistent in this cartoon. And here is what the final comic strip turned out looking like. You can see Graham roasts a marshmallow, gets it all over his paws. He looks pretty upset. After struggling quite a bit, Graham grows to accept his new marshmallow status. At the end, Graham has that derpy face that I drew on his squishy. I'm pretty happy with the way this origin story for Graham turned out, and I think we're ready to move on to the next page. Up next, we're turning to the page that says, draw your eyes. There's no other explanation, just draw your eyes. So for this, I'm going to take this quite literally. I am going to literally attempt to draw a realistic eye. My own eye, actually. We'll see how this goes.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm taking out my colored pencils, and we're going to do this entirely with Prismacolor colored pencils. I definitely don't consider myself to be an expert in realism. I typically draw in a cartoon type of style, and this is actually the first time I have ever even tried drawing a realistic eye using only Prismacolor colored pencils. So go easy on me. I am trying my best. And I like to think that on this channel, we're okay with experimenting, and if I'm not the best at something, I think that's always been pretty apparent that if I make a mistake, I don't really care. The bunnies. No, not the bunnies! This is what my attempt looked like at a realistic eye, and not just any realistic eye. I am really trying to make my own eye. In fact, I actually printed out a picture of myself to really try to get the eye shape correct. And then I was taking several pictures of my eye to make sure I was getting the eye color correct. By the end, I think I really did get the eye color. Moving on to the hair step of this, I did the eyebrow, and then we moved on to the eyelashes. I found the eyelashes step to be quite confusing. I felt like I wasn't putting enough of them, and then I felt like, I don't know, I just still feel like there might not be enough eyelashes. How many eyelashes do you add? How many times can I say eyelashes in 30 seconds? I don't know. We're gonna put it in the book anyway. Once the page was in the book, I outlined the prompt just in case I forgot what the giant eye was supposed to be for, and this is what the final page turned out looking like. Even though I feel like I potentially could have added more eyelashes, I do feel like this does look like my eyeball somewhat, so I'm pretty happy with this. If you would like to preview Draw Your Journal, all you have to do is go to my website, bellamena.com, and click on the tab that says Newsletter. If you enter your email into the subscription box, I will email you 5 extra pages that are not included in Draw Your Journal, and you can preview what it's like to own the book. Okay, up next we have Draw Your Instrument. Draw your favorite musical instrument. When I was in school, I was in band from grades 3 all the way until 12th grade. My colored pencil broke again. What a surprise. Betrayal every time. When I was in band, I played the flute from 3rd grade all the way up until 12th grade, and I even went to band camp some years for the flute. I decided to draw this bear to have a marching band outfit on, so that entails a coat and a hat. When I was in high school, I actually was not in marching band, but that was only because my high school didn't have a marching band. However, I know for a fact that if my high school had a marching band, I would have been in it. I was in the symphonic band, the pit orchestra, and the jazz band, and I played the flute and piccolo in all 3 of those things. I guess I was a band geek, huh? So you might be asking yourself, well, if you weren't in marching band, why did you draw a marching band outfit? So I do have a reason for this. It is a bit random and will require some explanation on my part. There's kind of 2 reasons for this. The first reason is I just think the marching band outfit looks cute on the bear. That's just a side note, it looks cute. The second reason is a little more confusing. When I was in high school, I really liked Taylor Swift. And at that time, the You Belong With Me music video was very popular, where she wore a marching band outfit. So when I think of myself playing the flute, I think of myself in high school. And when I think of myself in high school, I think of Taylor Swift. And I think I just kind of combined those things in my mind. So that's why this page makes sense for my journal, I guess. I hope that makes sense to you. I added a bunch of music notes coming out of the flute. I felt like the left side of the page was a little bit too plain, and I also gave them a little bit of a shadow just to make them look a little bit more 3-dimensional. And this is what the final page turned out looking like. I really like this page. I think it's really cute. I do realize that the bear's left hand placement is incorrect in case we have some people that play the flute out here. It is wrong, but I felt like it looked cuter in that spot, so that's why I drew it like that. I don't know why I find this page so funny. And here we have all 3 of the pages that I did for this episode of Draw Your Journal. I do have 3 other episodes of Draw Your Journal that you can watch. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next week for another video. Bye!